Hello, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, guys. Of course, I'm 2 minutes late because we're home. Don't mind the background. Don't mind the not great light. It's just one of those days. And Momo is off. So that means that we're here with the boys and it is chaotic and crazy. So Wayne just put Ivy down for a nap and now he's with the boys. And we're also doing some renovation upstairs. So it could get crazy, okay? Work with it. We're here just to catch up. Hi, everybody. I'm just going to move to the chat real quick. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Just wanted to touch base with everybody. I have my coffee. Do you have a coffee? It is now 2:03, and that is prime coffee time in the Mitchell house. All right, guys. So uh, Queens, New York in the house. Who else is here? Where are you from? Orlando is in the house. New York is in the house. Of course, Jamaica is in the house. I know this. Atlanta, Trinidad and Tobago. Hello. That's a terrible accent. Um, I know you guys don't mind about the kids, the construction, all that stuff. Canada, New Jersey, UK. Wow, guys. St. Thomas. What's up? Bull Bay. North Carolina, so many I can't keep up. Colorado in the house, guys. We are planning a trip to Colorado at the end of the year. We're so excited about it. My brother and his family live there. And so we said, this year we want to travel with the children. It's a big deal for us. We kind of got locked down with our traveling with COVID, but then we never really did it again. And so the 2 years where we were supposed to be traveling with the kids when they were a little younger just didn't happen. But I don't know if I traveled with them before now. Like they're at an age now where it's a little bit more manageable. I mean, except for like maybe Oz, he's at that age where it would be hard for him to do like a very long flight. But we'll see. The Lee's in the house. Hello, um, guys. What an exciting thing to have this channel revived, right? Like it feels so good to have a space where I can just do my thing and I don't have to like think about it too much in the sense of like, you know, having to like put on makeup right now, which is great. Although I do have on a little makeup. I even thought about doing this while putting on some makeup for you guys, but then I was like, let me just show up. So it feels nice to have a space where I can be myself and kind of share with you whatever's happening. And it's something I kind of wanted to talk about as well today is, kind of moving forward with this channel, how I'm doing it. And I have a couple of interviews, I should say, conversation setup that I want to make happen, but I'm still trying to figure out like the best way to do it. Um, so you just have to bear with me. Like I said in that vlog, first video back. But I really wanted to just connect with you guys, see if there are any questions you had, anything you wanted to know about, any topics you want us to discuss. I'm here for it. So let us see. Uh, Thanks. Somebody said you look great. You don't have to do the makeup for us. Me have on the makeup because, girl, let me tell you, it's only piece of brow me have. I'm just kidding, but thank you. All right. So, yes, somebody just said I think Terry Carell would be a good guest for this channel. You can also put in who you want to see me talk with. And if you're not familiar with kind of like how the podcast was before, I'm going to be trying to upload the podcast that I did in the past to this channel with probably just like a picture. Great listening. Pop it on while you're driving, while you're doing housework, laundry, whatever, and getting ready. And it's really good. So let's see. Um, Somebody asked if we could bring on Nana Fowl to give her mom stories from childbirth to now being a grandma. And mommy has a million stories. In fact, we do have a podcast together. I haven't listened to it in a long time, but she's such a wealth of knowledge and she's such a good mom. Like, I complain all the time that I'm not being even smidging of the mother that she is. And she's so patient, or this is how I remember her: so patient, so kind, so loving. But she doesn't remember herself that way. She remembers herself feeling a lot like a lot of mothers feel, which is like on the edge. Um, you know, constantly being tested, challenged, um, hiding. She says she remembers hiding from us a lot in her room. But it's nice to know that yes, that's a version she remembers, which just reminds me that we are hard on ourselves. And the version I remember as a child was that she was just the best. So let's hope my kids feel the same way. All right. Let us see. Um, Oh, here's a good question that I get asked all the time and I never ever get to talk about. The origin of Ivy Ara's name that comes from all things trending. Thank you for reminding me about this because I always forget to talk about how I named her. And guys, if you know me, you know that I am like, I think I should start another business where I help people to name their children. Like, I love baby names. I have to take a sip. You too. Go ahead. Cheers. And obviously, I love names. When you have, children called, and it started with even how cool Gio's name is. So Regina and Wayne had a Geomar actually, which is such a great name, and I was like, oh, what a nice way like to start this puzzle. Geo, wow. And I remember when I named Jackson, I really wanted to call him just Jax, but a lot of people said to me, "Oh, Jax, it's just so short," and this, and I was like, "I know, but I really like Jax." And somehow I got kind of encouraged to make it a little longer, which is how I ended up with Jackson, and it's spelled Jaxen, so that I have the option to call him Jax. No, I call him Jackson all the time, and I call him Jax. Uh, in fact, his name was almost Benjamin, which is interesting. But a friend of mine had a son, and she named her son Benjamin, and it was I didn't want to name my son so close to somebody who I believed he would be friends with, and they really are friends. So he's Jackson Benjamin. Then came Atlas, who I knew from before I even had Atlas that my next son was going to be called Atlas. And my chiropractor at the time literally I think she was telling me something about the first vertebrae or something like that. I think they call it like the Atlas or something, or A1 or C1. I can't remember. Don't quote me on this. But I just loved that name. And I'd never heard anybody, certainly not in Jamaica, called Atlas. And then I gave him my grandfather's surname, which is Levy. So he's Atlas Levy. Then came Oz. And this is a funny story. His name, this is turning into a whole story time. Sorry, guys. And I can't read while I'm talking, so give me a second. I hope this is interesting to you at the very least. Oz came along, and um, his name was almost gonna be. Are you ready for this? Because again, I got in the trap of like, I can't call him Oz, it's too short. His name was almost Oscar. Can you believe that? And I had every intention of calling him Oz for short. And a friend of mine said to me, if you want to call him Oz, call him Oz. Like, you don't have to give him a longer name and then shorten it. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Because that's what my mom did to me. Everybody calls me Tammy. She calls me Tammy, but my name is Tamar. And my whole life, she called me Tammy. And it was her intention to call me Tammy, but I guess she just felt that it was incomplete. But I decided not to get caught in the same trap I got caught in with Jackson, and I called him Oz because I just loved the name. And he has two middle names. So his name is Oz Orion David, uh, which both have great stories attached, but this cannot go on for 3 years. So, and then not only do we have our first daughter to name, she's also the baby, and our last child. And it just felt like the most incredible task of my life. In fact, I only had a boy's name. Do you want to hear what the boy's name was? I need some thumbs up in the comments if you want to hear what the boy's name was. And while you're at it, have you liked this video yet? All right, so the boy's name. You ready for it? If Ivy was a boy, his name was gonna be dun, 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 Quest. I loved the name Quest, and it just came to me one day before I knew if it was a boy or a girl that if it was a boy, his name was going to be Quest. And, Wayne would joke and be like, and my middle name is Ian? Question. I was like, no. But that would have been his name, which I still love that name. I still think it's a great name. So if anybody's having a boy and they feel like that fits them, Quest is an awesome name. And then I had no girl name, which is why I was so sure it was going to be another boy. And when the doctor told me it was a girl, I had no name. The only thing I would say is that I knew I loved names that were very pretty and traditional, and I would say maybe like old English names as well. So I loved the name Sadie, but another dear friend of mine who lives in England, her daughter is called Sadie. I love that name. I loved names like Evie. So there was a trend going on with this. I loved Edie as well. Another huge contender was going to be Eden. I love the name Eden, but partly because I like the nickname Edie. And there were just so many. I wish another name I loved was Aura. She was almost Aura, believe it or not. And I had a million names after a while, but none of them really stuck. You know what I mean? Um, and sorry, I'm trying to look at the comments. And this is what I want to say. I knew that whatever the baby, if it was a boy or girl, I knew the middle name was gonna be Arrow. That's true. With Quest, it was either gonna be Arrow or Quest. And then I was wondering, could I do Quest Arrow Mitchell? Well, I love the name Arrow. From the minute I found out I was pregnant, I forgot that detail. And so I knew it was gonna be Arrow, whatever it was. So I kept doing everything with Arrow. Arrow, Arrow, Arrow. At one point I even thought maybe I'll just call her Arrow. And then one day I was just in bed. And when you're looking for baby names, you like search all of these sites and you go over names and names and names. And I came across the name Navy. And I was like, that's so pretty, Navi. And then I was like, oh, but in Avatar, they say Navi, the movie Avatar. And it was a whole lot of things. And then it just dawned on me, Ivy. I love the name Ivy. And not only do I love the name Ivy, it is just so old. I mean, anybody who talks about Ivies these days is some great grandmother or grandmother I'm talking about, especially here. And there was something else that was really cute about it for me, was that she's my fourth child, right, of my womb. And so I and V came together to make four. Did I go too deep with that? Anyway, what really sealed the deal is I remember going to Wayne and saying, I think I know her name, and tell me what you think. And I said to him, Ivy. And he said to me, oh, Vivi, mom, as a nickname, Vivi. And I was like, I love that. We hardly ever call her Vivi, by the way, but we do call her that sometimes. And so that was her name, and we knew it. We knew it at that moment that it was Ivy Arrow. And we didn't share it with a ton of people. I just shared it with like my sisters and brothers and close friends, and they all loved it. And I remember, people saying to me, oh, it's your one chance to name a girl and you knocked it out the park. So I really love it. And that is the story of Ivy Arrow. Oh, and I love that the initial spelled I-A-M, I am. So lots of good things there. Yeah, that's the story. So yes, Ivy Arrow was almost Quest if she was a boy. And almost Eden and Aura. And there was another name I really loved. I wonder if it's still in my phone. Hold on. Let me check. Because you always write down these things, right, guys? Let me see if I have a notes with like the names. 1 second. Names. I bet I have something in here with the names. Oh, it wasn't in here. It was in the Google Keep. Let me see, y'all. Wait there. May I have that again? But Jesus. Looks like the app gone. See ya. All right, while that's downloading, I will but that was a great question. Sorry that I missed all of the comments about it. I'll try and put on back the replay so that anybody watching it again can look at what's going on. Yes, and I feel like nobody really guessed her name. Like even in the comments when we'd ask people to like give us a name, I feel like it was just one of those names that didn't come up. So yeah. Let's see what we can get to here. Oh yes, somebody says Tabitha Brown's son's name is Quest. And I did see that, but way after. I had no idea her son was Quest. I love Tabitha Brown, by the way, guys, and I love her story and I love her journey, and she's definitely one of my faves. Okay, okay, somebody said the fact that you thought Ivy might have been a boy, I guarantee she is going to be the true action figure in the family. The boys were just teaching her to crawl. So, yes. Um, all right, let me see. Somebody said, trust me, no one guessed Ivy. It's true. I just really feel like nobody guessed it. So, there you have it. Um, let's see. Oh, somebody said I thought it was because of Wayne's mentor, Bounty Killer's mom. And yes, what a lovely ode to his mom, who everybody affectionately called Miss Ivy as well. And we call her Miss Ivy all the time. All right, hold on a second. I bet it's downloaded now. Keep. Jamaica is so cool and breezy right now. It's lovely. All right, let's see if it's in here. There must be a names in here. Come on, man. Oh, I have something. I have a note in here about how many times the baby feed. Hey, this is no joke, you know. Names. Oh, I had deleted all of them and brought it right back around to Ivy Ara Mitchell. Ivy Ara Mitchell. The only name in the app now. Let me see if I have anything in the notes. And listen, the truth is this, and Wayne can say whatever he wants to say. I've always named them. I've always, and he helps me, obviously, with his input as far as like what he likes or what he doesn't like. But for the most part, I name them babies. And he always likes the name. So that's good. Okay, I don't have it in here anymore. All right. Oh, Karen said Philadelphia is 25 degrees right now. Hmm. Um, Jaden 370 says, I love the name Tamara. I don't. I don't. I grew up dislike. I think about it all the time, changing my name by default to Tammy because that's who I am. I don't know who, like, I don't identify with Tamara. Only people who went to school with me, um, and maybe some family members, but I never call myself that. And yeah, it's really weird growing up with a name that you don't like so much or identify with, in the sense of like nobody calls me it anyway. So yeah, which is why I was so what's the word, picky about what I name the kids. And by the way, they're probably gonna hate their names at some point or the other. So far so good, but still. All right. So somebody said I changed the spelling of my name at a young age. Really? I did. Well, I remember deciding it was Tami and not Tammy, and I don't know why. Well, now that I know myself, I know why, because I wouldn't have wanted it to be common, in the sense that I didn't want everybody to. And I thought growing up that Tammy was a very like common name, but I didn't know any Tammys. But I guess because of pop culture, I would have seen Tammy in other spheres, and it just seemed like Tammy. No, I'm gonna be Tami. Just so the team said. All right, so let's see if there are any other questions that we have in here, because I don't have much more time, because I'm actually gonna be picking up Jackson shortly. And oh, that's the time. Oh dear. Oh dear, y'all. I like these lives. These lives are easy. We should find a way to do a live where we can have these type of conversations. Okay, here's a great question. Somebody said, "Would you release a new single?" Do you know that just this morning I was thinking about music, and I never think about music, and it's something that Wayne and I kind of always have like a disagreement on, because he thinks it's crazy that I don't do music anymore, and the way I view it is that it is not that I don't do it anymore, or he said to me, these are the words he said to me, it's a disservice um, to yourself, to music, and to people who loved your music, not to the music anymore. And I said, no, absolutely not. It's something that I feel I completed. I feel like You ever do something and you just feel like you complete a cycle? You ever do a job and you know when you come to the end of the job, it's just time to move on? I feel like that's about music. And I love music, but I never, ever, ever want to do music um, as a way to earn money to feed my family. Never. Mm-mm. It was just too much for me, and I can't go back to that if I'm honest with you. But I more recently feel like I would do music for the love of it. But I guess that would mean you'd have to release music and all this stuff. But I'd want to do it on my own terms. I don't want to have to do anything I don't want to have to do. I mean, I think if I was to put out any music now, it would sound a lot like maybe Sade mixed with a little, I don't know, Sarah Bareilles or somebody. It wouldn't be the maybe Tami God of the Tami, you know. Yeah, because I've grown too. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Just this morning, I was like, I wonder if I'd maybe sing again. Maybe. We'll see. All right. Um, that was a good question too. Thank you. I can't think of anything else that I would say right at this minute other than that. Oh, somebody's giving me an idea. Okay, an idea for this channel. This is from Shivana, great name. I hope I said it right. An idea for this channel is to have some of your friends that are wives discuss being a wife, mother, and all the things while making your marriage a priority. Yep, that's a tough conversation. I don't know if I can find any friends who'd be willing to open up. That's the thing, you know, guys. Like to actually say it, I'll see. But we'll see if we can. Something that we want to bring back as well is, do you guys remember when Tessie and I used to do Seen and Heard over on Instagram? We really want to bring that back. So that's going to be a thing. Baby, yes, Seen and Heard is going to be coming back at some point, which I am excited about. And we're just trying to figure out the best way to make that happen. But Seen and Heard was a definite safe space for those conversations because, you know, Tess and I are very willing to be open about most things where that is concerned. Um, and I was even looking back at some of those episodes and those were great too. So yeah, being a wife, girlfriend, partner. Oh, it ain't easy, girl. It ain't easy, but we doing it. Can you believe this year is 14 years that Wayne and I have been married, not together, married. Ooh, it's a lot. All right, guys, I do have to run because I have to go and grab Jax. But I did want to jump on here to touch base to connect. The time flies by so quickly. Like, how does this happen? We just got on. Um, for those of you asking what was seen and heard, you can go on my Instagram at Tami Chynn Michelle, and if you scroll through, you'll see seen and heard. That was before Reels, so it might have been like IGTV or something. But just go all the way down, and it will be there. Quite a few episodes. And let me know if you want us to bring that back. I think it would be nice. These are great questions in here, so I'm going to leave them in here so that I can get to them later. Somebody said an idea would be to discuss as parents to children their diverse background and to celebrate it all. I'm so glad you said that. Just today, I was thinking about this and thinking how important it is to put that forward to our children and how to put it forward and the best way to help them to celebrate their diverse backgrounds. You know. Um, Somebody asked, how do I think life would look if Momo was in here? I dread to think. Momo has been with our family for 11 years now. She is a huge part of our life. And so I can't imagine life without her. She has single handedly helped me to literally raise my family. So yeah, it's amazing. I don't know. We get glimpses of it and it ain't good, let me tell you. All right, guys, thank you so much. I will be back next week for sure. And I have, like I said, a couple great episodes coming up, and I can't wait to share them with you. So thank you for sticking and staying with me through this journey that keeps changing, keeps evolving, keeps turning into something new. And you're here for it, and I so appreciate it. Love you guys a million. Let's keep tackling things together, and I will see you again next week. Don't forget to also go in the comments after this, leave any questions that you might have that I can include, any topics I would love, love, love to hear more from you guys. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe and share it with somebody you love. All right, plenty of love, guys. Talk soon. Bye. Mwah.